Hey dudes and dudettes. So I am doing a little hot tank action today. You know, I took apart some LS motors that I'm building, some 6.0s, and I thought about taking them to the machine shop to get them cleaned up because they are nasty. But then I was like, you know, I like DIY stuff. I like doing everything myself. I don't want to pay somebody to do something I can do myself. So I got a hold of some stuff, and I'm going to show you guys how to DIY hot tank some pots. Alrighty, Aphrodite, here we go. I got this here 200,000 BTU camp stove off of Amazon. I will put the link in the bio, and you guys can check it out for yourself. It just hooks to propane. And then I got myself a nice little galvanized steel trash can. They are not exactly watertight from the factory, so I took a little silicone and did a swipe around the edges there just to kind of help make it like a dolphin's butthole, you know, watertight. Here it is, a bunch of parts going into the hot tank. As you can see, these 317 heads that came out of that, you know, older 6.0 are just nasty. Look at them. Gross, 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 gross. Okay, so what's the deal? Why are we hot tanking? So, you know, I took the heads off the motor, and hot tanking is basically putting parts inside of a hot tank full of some kind of chemicals that'll eat all the grease off and loosen everything up on it. Now at a machine shop, they have kind of a caustic mixture that they dip steel in and everything like that. It'll get rust, all that kind of crap off. We don't want that because we're doing aluminum heads. And I know all those internet rangers out there, they're gonna be like, oh, if you take the heads off the motor, you gotta get it resurfaced and decked. Dude, come on, guy. Go back to 1950 where engines leaked from the factory, and if you got 100,000 miles out of the motor, man, the odds of that were like 376,000 to 1.
Never tell me the odds.
So here in the real world, where we take heads off of motors all the time, clean them, scrape them down with a little, you know, 1000 grit sandpaper, clean it up really nice, and then put in new head gaskets, stud it, and away you go. No worries, you don't need to machine every single thing you take apart. If you blew a head gasket, probably. But for these aluminum heads, you don't want to use a caustic mixture. Obviously, that's going to destroy it. It'll just eat the head. So Simple Green has this extreme aircraft version. Extreme! That, you know, it's great for aluminum, because most airplanes are made out of aluminum. So it has all kind of different mixture concentrates back here and whatnot. You know, maximum distillery. Yeah, we're probably gonna blow right past all that because we want to get all that shit off of it. So we'll probably dump this whole bad boy in here. It's a 35-gallon trash can. I don't know, we'll see how it works. Let's get this biz in the tank. Yeah. So here's something pretty fun. Check out that valve. You think it was running a little lean? So here we got our tank full of everything. 2 sets of heads, bunch of valve covers, some other aluminum junk, full of heads worth of valves and you know, all that good stuff. Rocker arms, push rods. We're gonna clean it all, see what happens, you know. I got tons of spare parts of all this stuff, so whatever. Don't work out great, I don't really care. Alrighty, we got her filled up. Let's put the lid on and get her boiling. Alrighty, we're taking a little peek in here. The old dolphin's butthole is a little loose here because she's not exactly watertight, but as you can see, everything is turning brown in there, which is probably a good thing. Unfortunately, the water level dropped so low that these valves here aren't going to get cleaned. I guess I could dump them out, but I don't want to get them mixed in with the other valves there, so we'll see. Got a nice steam coming off the lid here, so I'm gonna say, oh yeah, we are boiling and profoiling. or something, you know. Our little witch's brew in there is looking pretty tight. That's definitely a hot tank. We've had the old girl rocking and rolling for about an hour now. She was at a really good boil. You saw those bubbles coming up there. So I think that is definitely as hot as it needs to get. I'm gonna let it cool off for a little bit, and then I'm gonna reach in and pull out one of these bad boys and see if it's clean or not. I think an hour would probably do it. All right, here we are after a 1 hour boil. And I mean, it got a lot of the grease and stuff off of it for sure. It definitely didn't take away any kind of oxidation or anything like that. And this is also, I pressure washed it after I pulled it out of there. So it cleaned off a lot of the carbon, definitely, without a doubt, which will make my life a lot easier when it comes time to rubbing this all down and getting all the surfaces nice and clean. But I don't think an hour is enough. We're gonna fire this baby back up and keep cooking the rest of these parts in here, because as you can see, like, this one still has a fair amount of grime stuck to it right there, and it's not just falling off of it. So we're gonna fire it back up. Hour 2 just wrapped up on boiling the crap out of everything in the pot. I'm gonna hose it down with a whole bunch of cold water and kind of get it overflowing a little bit, and then start pulling parts out once it cools down enough that I can reach in there and grab stuff. All right, these parts are still pretty wicked hot, but you know what, we're manning up, we're pulling them out anyways. Yeah, there you. We'll take them over here. Boo. And you know, I mean, does it clean some stuff off? Yes, absolutely. Cleans a whole lot of crap out of it. But does it come out perfect? Nope. And anything that was steel, immediately wipe it off and put it in something with oil, otherwise it's gonna rust. So yeah, it cleans them really good, but you're still gonna need to pressure wash it afterwards. Okay, so if you look down in here, you know, it cleaned them out pretty good. Got rid of most of the carbon in the head. Inside looks great. Obviously there's no carbon inside this area, so that's not the hard thing to do. The exhaust actually cleaned out excellent, so that's pretty surprising. It's really the intake that held on to the gunk more than the exhaust. So and scrape it off a little bit more and that would take care of that. But all in all, pretty clean. Here it is, folks, fresh out of the hot tank. She did a good job of cleaning all the grime and stuff off. However, I'm really not happy with the dull finish that's on everything. So I'm gonna hit it all with aluminum bright and see if that shines it up some. If not, oh well, probably end up painting these motors anyways. So it's really good at getting all the carbon and the nasty stuff out of the chambers, so and out of the runners. So that is definitely a plus side to hot tanking these bad boys, the DIY style. But it's definitely, they're not as shiny and new looking as they would be if you took them to a machine shop. So if you spend the bucks and take it to a machine shop, yeah, you're probably gonna end up with a better result. But for less than $100, you have all the equipment to do it again and again and again. So, with grimy engines, if you plan on doing them more than once, probably a good idea to have this stuff laying around. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Check you later.